Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Blossoms and Bourbon. My name is Mark. I'm the owner here at Creative Occasions. Welcome to my workroom. Enjoying a little bit of Castle and Key today from Frankfort, Kentucky. My son was in Tennessee, picked this up with some buddies, brought it back and thought that I might enjoy using it for one of the videos. So the arrangement that we're going to do in this episode is kind of a throwback to a parallel design that we've done before. But the difference in this design today is going to be the use of space in that arrangement. Before, with the parallel design, it was pretty much all the way across the container. We're going to use space in this design today to really make it a little more interesting and to show you how space can impact the design. So I'm going to be using, this is broom corn, which is a great seasonal product for this time of year. One of the things I love about this time of year is the grains, all the really textural elements that we have available to us. And I chose this container, quite honestly. You know how I talk about how let the container speak to you, because it is very textural. It's one of those things that I think this old wooden, dark, textured trug really lends itself nicely to this kind of arrangement. So let's just keep playing and see what happens. Broom corn, this is actually a more tropical variety of product that's called Safari Sunset. The Safari Sunset does come in a burgundy version as well as this beautiful green version, but I like the green for what we're doing. And as you recall, we're going to establish the overall height and width of the arrangement with the first few insertions. I've pretty much done that. The only thing that may wiggle a little bit outside of that is if we push some of the width on the side with the product that goes in last. All right, another Safari Sunset. I do like this because the leaf pattern on this product it allows it to sort of be sectioned. So I like, if possible, to get multiple cuts off of that. So we're gonna use this as one cut. And then this will become a second cut off of that one stem. I want that to behave and stay where I put it. All right, we're going to do a little color now with some mums. Mums are certainly something that seems to be indicative of fall. And because I know I have some larger yellow sunflowers that I want to incorporate in this design also, I do want some yellow up in the height of the design, in the upper sort of portions of the design. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull your eye up with the yellow, but then it's also going to relate to the yellow that's positioned a little bit lower in the arrangement. So there's kind of where I am so far. Another sectioned element is going to be this little guy. We don't throw anything away, right? There's no waste here. So yeah, we'll just kind of section that there. We'll get this bloom and those buds. That will be nice. So you can see how that's developing, and the space, that space that's going to be important in the arrangement is right in the center. And we'll talk about as we go along a bit about why that's important. Okay, a couple of larger blooms. This is a cremon. This variety is very typically seen in the fall because of that coloration. It's got those nice sort of rust and gold elements about it. It's a really lovely flower. I should also say that this wooden box, this trug that this arrangement is in, did not come with a liner. So if you're noticing from the camera above me, you can see that I used some of that green poly foil, which is the poly-coated foil, and I just basically lined the wooden trug with that, put my foam right down in it. I wanted to make sure that the foam did not come above the top edge of the container, just because I want to keep everything sort of nice and like garden style. So that was an important element about that. If you guys are enjoying the videos, and we so appreciate you taking the time to watch and to tune in, please be sure to like them. Please be sure to subscribe to them. Hit that little bell icon so that you'll be notified of new content. We are approaching 2,800 and some odd subscribers, which when I started this, I would have never believed. But thank you so much. Tell your friends, share it out to your friends that you think might enjoy something like what we do here. So thank you so much for that. This is another mum. This one is a button mum, and it's called button because the pattern of the petals on the flower just is very tight and close-knit. It doesn't have an obvious center like these little daisy ones do, and that's part of what makes it so much fun. It's a mum. It's an inexpensive product, but it's also a beautiful texture and color for fall. This rust is just really, really nice, I think. We could build this arrangement as an all-around if we were using this on a dining room table, somewhere that it was going to be seen from all sides. For our purposes today, I kind of wanted to build this with a front and a back, definitely. This yarrow is amazing. As you can tell, this yarrow is a dyed product. It has been stem dyed to get that vivid coloration in it. That's not typically something that normally you see with that product. But let's just use that as sort of a base element right down along the edge of the container. And then I'm going to take a smaller one and let's put that up a little bit higher over on the other side to kind of balance the colors and the textures of that. I do want to, as I work, be sure to maintain that space because that is an important element of the design. This product is called safflower. I'm not sure of the history of this flower or the origin of it, but it has to resemble thistle or be a member of the thistle family. It's got this little kind of pointed bud and then this kind of burst of color that comes out on the top. Beautiful, beautiful, kind of fun textural element for fall. It doesn't have one of the best vase lives, but it is super fun. So use it while you can, right? I want to work a couple of these sunflowers in. The positioning for those is going to be low for a couple of reasons. One, the size of the bloom, the large size of it, makes it better suited to visually look like it's holding the arrangement down. It's giving some substance to it. This is the reason that I wanted to put these yellow mums up in the arrangement so that the coloring would relate all the way through the line of the arrangement. So let's get a couple of these bad boys put in here. And I will show you a little trick with these too. This stem is very fibrous, so it's thick. These are not particularly large sunflowers, so if you're getting larger ones, the stems are even bigger. One thing that you can do to make this a little more stable in an arrangement is just take a plain old skewer, and we've done this before with wooden Coe picks, where the water will absorb into the wood pick and make the product more stationary. We're going to do the same thing with that here. So I'm just going to put this skewer up in the bloom. It doesn't have to go far, just enough to kind of stabilize it. Cut that off. And then when we put this sunflower in this design, it is not going to go anywhere. The wood pick is going to keep it in place because it absorbs the water, but the opening of the stem still allows the flower to absorb the water from the foam. So it's going to stay nice. It's not going to impact the vase life of the flower at all, and that's kind of a nice element about that. All right, let's do one more over on that side because you know how I like kind of that whole stair-stepping of larger blooms like that. I've got some solidago, which in nature grows as a yellow flower. This also, because of the time of year, because of how smart floral suppliers are getting, has been dyed so that it takes on more of a fall look with this coloration of the orange. All right, so there's where we are so far. There's nice balance. I've still maintained this space, which I wanted. That was an important part of what we're doing here. I want something right down here against the base of the container. I think I might use this rose. This is a beautiful rose that's called Creme de la Creme. It's a beautiful kind of buttery yellow color. A little bit different yellow than the sunflowers and the mums, certainly, but I think it'll be really nice with this arrangement. Do a little grooming and pull those guard petals off. The guard petals have done their work now. Thank you very much. And one thing that you'll notice too about the placement of the sunflowers and the roses is that they also kind of move your eye in. So that calls even more attention to the space that we've got here going on in the center. So it has this beautiful orange Asiatic lily. Love those. This one's kind of wonky, the little bud over there. So I'm probably going to cut that off and maybe incorporate that kind of tucked in low. I also want to tuck this guy in low too. Now, even though this lily stem is bent a little bit, because we've cut it low and tucked it in, it also will be fine. And it will open right up as the arrangement ages. I feel like I want a little more orange over in the top over here, so I might use this other yarrow just kind of in the background to pull that coloring up into the design a little bit. Yeah, not bad. Castle and Key is located in Frankfort, Kentucky. Looked like a really interesting distillery. It's not one that I had been to before, but it looks super interesting. Maybe the next time I'm in Kentucky. All right, so the next I'm just going to finish off the bottom of this with a little bit of moss. I don't want to really distract from this a lot with foliage, although there is one thing I had thought about doing. We'll see how that plays out. Along the front where you have those flowers low, it's important to just kind of tuck that in along the edge and just kind of be respective of those blooms so that we're not damaging them. Don't want to impact those too much and bruise them as you're tucking that moss in. I like that you can still see the edge of the wooden container there too in that space in the center. This green sheet moss I wet down just a little bit so that it's more pliable. It's a little easier to work with than when it's super dry. All right, so there's front, there's back. Basically, we just have the oasis covered up. I do want to do one more thing. I mentioned this and I kind of thought about it. I have these long tendrils of English ivy, and I think what I want to do is just tuck them in and add some movement, another bit of kind of a sense of line to the arrangement. Sort of dramatic line, not a stagnant line, but one that's more active and moving. That's where we kind of push the envelope a little bit on that outer edge and the actual width. I don't know you guys, but I love English ivy. Just such a classic, beautiful material. Then I'm just going to kind of twist around that piece of broom corn so it just kind of stays up in place there. Let's put one more in the back just to finish the back. All right, so that gives the back just a little essence of greenery back there. But I really love that, how it kind of moves through the arrangement, especially this little tendril coming out, the loop there. I think that's kind of cool. So much for what I think of the arrangement. What do you think of it? Let me know. Please be sure. You guys are great about leaving comments and tell me where you're watching from. I love to hear that. Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos. Get yourself some Castle and Key small batch. This is a great pour. And that about does it. Jason, have I forgotten anything? I think we're good. All right. You guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, cheers to you and to flowers every day. Thanks for joining.